Welcome back to the Justice Conference Asia 2014. I'm here with our very special guest, Mark Zschech, and we're so excited to have him here. He's the, of course, pastor of a senior church, but also the founder of Hope Rwanda and Hope Global.
That's correct, yes.
And you were just sharing with us a little bit about your heart there. And I think a lot of people probably know about yourself and your wife, Darlene, and everyone thinks of music.
Well, they know
and,
about Darlene.
but you guys have a real heart for Rwanda, and I think a lot of people aren't aware of that. Could you tell us a little more about that?
Look, we've been working there for 10 plus years in reality. It was an accidental endeavor. It wasn't like we'd intended to. We've been working in developing countries for the 10 years previously. But something happened in a particular year. We were taking our children to visit our sponsored children that we would normally do most years. And, God just touched our hearts with that country. I mean, the story is crazy, that 1 million people, or over 1 million people, were murdered inside 100 days in a systematic, organized way. Everybody in that country is affected by the genocide. Every family, every church, everything. So you can't go there but not be affected by that. And so it took us on a journey of just how to help people, how to add our bit to many others, by the way, that have done work in that nation.
And what's the condition now, would you say? I mean, you guys have spent some time there. What's going on? I mean, that was in 1994 that we had this devastating genocide.
Yeah.
And now, all these years later, what's the situation?
Well, 20 years now since the genocide. Look, it's a remarkable country, and what they've been able to do is profound. And I think that God is setting up that nation to be a model for many others to follow about what forgiveness does, about what healing does, about what that sense of hope. I mean, these people have literally lost all sense of hope. When your brothers or your sisters or your cousins were murdering family members, to go, how can we go forward from here? But it's profound what God's doing there, and it is that real sense you can feel that God is doing something really profound in that nation. The development, it's one of the fastest growing GDP countries in the world. It has the highest rate of female participation in politics than any other country in the world.
Wow.
52% of all people in politics are women.
Wow.
It's really growing, and they've got fiber internet all through the capital city. They're trying to be an intellectual property country. Yet people are still obviously living in poverty, but there's a real sense of hope, to be honest, in that nation.
That's really incredible. And I mean, obviously you're here at the Justice Conference, and what do you hope is kind of the main takeaway? What do you think, sharing about what's happening there, what are you hoping that people will receive out of this?
From my point of view, I just hope that our story can be an encouragement about other people taking adventures in the God journey. To really, in a sense, don't just think about what you can plan, but really go beyond your planning and start to dream and think and allow God to stir a hope inside you that's bigger than what you can achieve in your own right, own strength. And I just think then that gives you a chance to exercise your faith. And it leaves that gap for God to do something through us, each one of us. And so if I could imagine that out of this conference, that people left here thinking and dreaming and planning and going, imagine if God could do that in our ministry or our organization or in the area that I work for. I feel like I would be just so, use an Australian expression, chuffed that we were able to take people a little bit further on their God dream, their hope, that the hope inside us. His name is Jesus. That is really, fueling and driving us to think about what could happen for the kingdom.
Right. Very, very inspiring. Yeah. And thank you so much for being here at the Justice Conference to share.